Joined by Northeastern head coach Bill Cohen. Before we open up for some questions, Coach, just your impressions on the game.
First, I'd just like to congratulate Coach Spiker and Coach Raggi on getting to the finals. I know we've been there in the past. I know how special that experience is going to be for them. Two terrific coaches, two outstanding programs. Should be a great championship. For us this evening, I was couldn't be prouder of our group. We've dealt with as much like everybody in the world, a bunch of adversity. Coming down the stretch here, just really had some bad timing. But I thought this group is, even though it was a young group, it was able to accomplish a lot of great things. I mean, we earned a share of the CA regular season title. I think we had the most road wins in the conference. We had 5 of our wins were against teams that had winning records, and the only time we lost, we were missing key players. That was true for tonight as well. We just didn't have our full complement of guys, and we had guys who, probably had the last 4 weeks, dealing with some illness. So, this group went out, they competed. As far as the fundamentals of the game, we didn't rebound the ball well enough. We didn't shoot the ball well enough. We didn't defend well enough. But as I told the guys in the locker room, I know what the scoreboard says, and I know, how important winning is to everybody in our program in particular. But in my mind, the way they competed, I truly felt those guys were winners tonight.
First question from Milton. Go ahead, Milton.
Coach, you brought up the locker room message. Given that this is a team, how young this team is, and that they in many respects exceeded those kinds of the expectations that were laid on them in the preseason, what is the message to them after a game like tonight? It's
the beginning, not the end. This is the start for a lot of those guys. We had freshmen and sophomores out there on the floor. I think it was a little bit of a disadvantage not having played Drexel early in the years, particularly with a young team. And if you had played them twice already and had gone through scouts and made mistakes, usually we would improve by that. But we had one shot at the apple today, and I thought we were just a little too inexperienced to beat a very experienced Drexel team.
Next question to Glenn. Go ahead, Glenn.
Coach, when you made that charge to get to the win 2 in that late in the second half, they hit the threes back to back. Did that look like it was the turning point that made the hill a little too steep to climb?
Yeah, I think we might have cut it to 1, right? 50s, 53, 52, something like that. We put a little game pressure on them. Up to that point, we weren't able to put any game pressure on them. And we just needed one more stop. And I think Butler hit a buzzer beater 3. But he's an all-conference player. It's not really what he does, but he made one last night. He made a couple tonight. And, he stepped up and made big plays. And I thought, that they got that separation. And it's, once you kind of have that opportunity to kind of take the lead, you got to kind of capitalize on it.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep.
Next question, Eamon. Go ahead, Eamon.
Hey, Coach. Tough loss tonight, but Jamil Telford had 30 points, career high for him. How was his performance in your eyes tonight?
We were talking about it in the locker room. He, started out on Cam Winters, so we're asking our young players to do a lot of things, and I think it's only going to help his development. But if you look at him, he's a freshman. He drew the short straw of having to guard, a first team all conference player of the year type candidate on one end of the floor, and then have to shoulder a lot of the scoring load. But you see his versatility. You know, he plays, 4 positions for us. He guards multiple positions for us. He's got tremendous upside. But what I like about him best is the type of young man he is. He's an incredibly positive young man, humble. We brought him off the bench this year. There are not too many kids in today's day and age that possess the talent that he has that would be accepting of that role. And he, more than once said, whatever you need, whatever this team needs. And his unselfishness really just speaks to his character, his team first attitude, and his maturity beyond his years.
Next question to Jerry. Go ahead, Jerry.
Hey, Bill, the end of any season is abrupt and comes suddenly. Does this end feel any differently, given just
No.
the nature of it? And I'm sorry, go on.
No, I mean, you're exactly right, Jerry. I mean, each and every year, whether you go on the NCAAs and lose, whenever it ends, and it's like you're on a treadmill and you're running about, 10 miles an hour, and somebody hits the stop button, and everything stops. Your mind and the players, their rhythm. What time is practice tomorrow? What are we doing? What do we have to get better at? You're just in that kind of cycle. But the thing that doesn't change at the end of the year is the emotion in the locker room. And when you see guys, visibly get emotional, although it's tough, I think that's a good sign. Because it shows how much they care. It shows how important it is to them. And it shows how much pride and character they have. So, we had a locker room guys, a bunch of guys that, weren't happy about losing. And, and as a coach, I respect that. And, and each and every year it kind of comes to that. There's an end to this every season. But then there's a new beginning, and that starts tomorrow.
Anything else for Bill? We do have Jamil here. All right. One more. Go ahead, Milton. Go ahead, Milton. One last one.
Hi, Coach. Your team got some really strong minutes tonight from a few guys who hadn't played that many minutes during the regular season, like Chibrillo and Alex Nowaga. What was the thought process behind putting those guys out there for such huge minutes in a really important night like this?
Yeah, well, needless to say, we were shorthanded, and we had guys that played in the game that weren't even close to 100%. Given everything that had transpired over the last couple of weeks. So we had guys who were coming basically to the tournament without having practiced. And so we were just trying to cobble it together with different guys and different lineups. And, that's part of our attitude. Everybody has to have a team first attitude, and everybody has to be ready. And when you look at, that was the first time Connor Braun played in 2 years due to injuries and everything else yesterday. That was the most minutes Vito has played in a long time. And Alex, I thought, gave us great energy. And I thought all those guys played really hard and really, given the circumstances, given the environment, they did a great job. And, we talk about this all the time. That's what's going to earn your teammates respect. If you're going to step up and you're going to play and you're going to play the right way, that you're going to earn the respect of the staff and your teammates. And that group certainly did that.
All right. Thanks very much, Bill.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Coach.
Take it easy on Jamil.
All right. Joined by Northeastern freshman Jamil Telford. Jamil, a career high 30 points for you tonight. What was working so well for you?
I think I was just aggressive. We know we were missing guys, and it was tough on the offensive end because we haven't been practicing a lot. So I was just trying to stay aggressive and make plays, and it just happened that today I was making a lot of shots, but fortunately we didn't win. So I don't know.
Your first question from Milton Posner. Go ahead, Milton.
Hey, Jamil, this was, I think, pretty unquestionably your best game as a Husky. Does it take any of the edge or the emotion off of the loss, or does it still feel exactly the same as it would if you'd scored, say, 5 points?
The loss is a loss, honestly. You could score 60 or 0 points at the end of the day. The loss is a loss. I obviously would have rather win, so I don't know. I don't think it feels the same. I would have wanted to win, but you got to give Drexel credit. They came ready to play, and they're the team that won.
Next question for Eamon. Go ahead, Eamon.
Hey, Jamil, you had the assignment of guarding probably Drexel's best player tonight. How did you manage that defensively against him?
We had a scouting report. I was just trying to follow that, play as hard as I can. As you guys know, he's a great player. Got to give credit to him. And, I take pride on the defensive end, so I was just trying my best to shut him down. But he's a great player. He's obviously going to, score points. And I don't know. It was tough. It was tough. He's a tough player. Got to give credit to him.
Next question for Jerry. Go ahead, Jerry.
Hey, Jamil, I know it's only been a few minutes, but can you kind of describe the challenges of playing this season and the physical and emotional toll it might take on you guys, in particular, to have your big pauses so late in the season?
It was tough, like 10 days ago, a lot of us were in the bed, not even knowing if we were going to play. So it was obviously tough. We had a couple pauses this year, so we couldn't practice a lot. I don't think we practiced before. We practiced probably 3 times before the tournament, so it was obviously tough. But at the same time, I'm also grateful that we got a chance to step on the court and try to make the most out of it, because it's not given. And I'm just happy for the year we had and just ready to go back at it next year.
Okay. You have a follow-up, Milton?
Yeah, just one. Jamil, I was curious. I mean, you had, 6th man of the year. You had an excellent freshman campaign. Is there something that you want to, by the time you guys come back for next season, is there something that you want to work on, something that you want to add to your bag for next season?
There's a lot of things I got to work on. I think I got to become a better leader. I got to work on my game, obviously, maybe my handle, making better decisions with the ball. And, on the defensive end, when I get tired, I got to stay locked in. There's a lot of things I can work on. And, we're just going to get through it this summer and come back ready next season.
All right, last one of the night for Eamon. Go ahead, Eamon.
Hey, Jamil, when Drexel, you cut the lead to just 1 with a beautiful 3-pointer, but then Drexel kind of pushed that lead back again with out to 8. Or how did that kind of feel when they just rattle off 3 3-pointers in a row and kind of started to run away with it?
You got to give credit to them. I remember I made a shot, and then he hit a corner 3, 21. That was a big shot. They made some big plays. They hit some big shots. We got to give credit to them. But, I was trying to win. I think our whole team was trying to win, actually. So it was just tough, without a rhythm. And I don't know. It was just tough.
All right, Jamil, thanks very much.